Good morning. So today we're going to work on solving multi-step equations and inequalities. And this might look familiar to you from what we've done last week and a couple weeks ago with solving multi-step equations. However, there are two new terms that I want you to become familiar with when you're solving multi-step equations and inequalities. So let's look at the first one. We have 8g minus 3 equals 24. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 8 times the g and the 8 times the negative 3. So I'm going to get 8g, and then 8 times negative 3 is negative 24 equals 24. So now what I'm going to do is I want to get the 8g on one side by itself, and then all the constants or the numbers without the variables on the other side. So I'm going to add 24. And so now I have 8g equals 24 plus 24 is 48. So now I'm going to divide each side by 8, and I get g equals 6, because 48 divided by 8 is 6. And now I can check that by plugging in 6 for g wherever it's written in the equation. So let's check it. We have 8 times 6 minus 3 equals 24. So let's see. 6 minus 3 is 3, so 8 times 3 equals 24. Yes, it does. Check. We know we have the right solution. Now, sometimes you'll get an equation or an inequality that has no solution. It's called a null or empty set. So let's watch how we would solve this equation. 2x minus 1 equals 4 plus 2x. So I'm going to multiply the 2 times the x and the 2 times the negative 1. 2x minus 2 equals 4 plus 2x. All right, now I'm going to bring my 2 over here, and I'm going to bring this 2x over here. So I'm going to add 2. So now I have 2x equals 6 plus 2x, and now I'm going to subtract 2x from each side. But because 2x minus 2x equals 0, I have no x's, and I'm left with 0 equals 6, which that's not a true statement. So this is called a null or empty set. Okay? There are no solutions, and so we would represent that with a circle with a line through it. That would be your answer. So this is called a null or empty set. So if you reach the point in your equation or inequality where you can't go any further like this, it's not telling you that the variable equals a number, it's not giving you an answer that makes sense, it's called a null or empty set, and you could type that in, or if you were writing it, you would represent it with the 0 with the line through it. Okay? And we also might reach an equation that has every number as a possible solution, and I'll show you what that might look like. So here we have negative 2x minus 1 equals 2 minus 2x. So let's solve. So I'm going to do negative 2 times x, and negative 2 times negative 1, which is positive 2, and then 2 minus 2x. So now I'm going to subtract the 2 from each side here, and so I have negative 2x equals 0 minus 2x, and I'm going to add 2x to each side. So now I'm left with 0 equals 0, which this is called an identity. It means it's always true, and the equation is an identity, and the solution set is all numbers. So this is called an identity. All numbers are a possible solution. Because we know 0 does equal 0. That is a true statement. So this is called an identity. So you would just write that this is identity. All numbers are a possible solution. So again, I just wanted to go over that. You might have a multi-step equation or inequality that is familiar with ones that you've done in the past. You might have ones where you reach an answer that doesn't make sense, and so that's called a null or empty set. There is no possible solution. Or you might have one that looks like this, where it's called an identity equation. All numbers are a possible solution.